In a land of eternal winter, where the mountains shone like silver blades and the air froze even the strongest breath, there was a kingdom on the edge of despair. Frostvale, once a thriving empire of snow and song, was now crumbling beneath an endless blizzard. The crops had withered, the rivers were locked in ice, and even the sun seemed afraid to rise. The people whispered of a prophecy that one day, when the cold swallowed all hope, a dragon as white as snow would rise from the heart of the storm to restore life. But as centuries passed, the prophecy became a bedtime story, a comforting lie told to starving children. Then, one night, lightning split the sky over the Frostspire peaks. A burst of light, so pure it blinded those who looked directly at it, descended upon the mountains. Hunters who ventured close to the summit returned half-frozen and terrified, speaking of a vast shape buried in the glacier, scales gleaming like diamond, eyes glowing faintly beneath the ice. The king's council dismissed it as madness, yet one person believed. Aaron, a young scholar obsessed with the old texts, recognized the signs foretold in the Book of Ice Fire. He journeyed toward the mountains, armed not with weapons, but with knowledge and faith. Each step through the blizzard tested his spirit. But as the winds howled, a strange warmth began to guide him, a pulse beneath the snow, alive and waiting. When he reached the glacier's heart, he found it, an enormous wing frozen mid-beat, as if the creature had been trapped mid-flight. The ice glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Aaron laid his hand upon it, and the warmth grew stronger. The prophecy, it seemed, had been real all along. But awakening a dragon was never without consequence. As the mountain trembled and the ice began to crack, the scholar realized something terrifying. The dragon wasn't just awakening. It was remembering. And what it remembered might save the kingdom, or destroy it entirely. The glacier split open with a sound like the world itself breaking. Ice shards exploded into the wind as a blinding light surged from within. Aaron shielded his eyes, his body trembling as the ground quaked beneath his boots. When the storm calmed, a shadow rose from the heart of the glacier, vast, graceful, and ancient beyond comprehension. The white dragon had awakened. Its wings, veined with silver light, stretched across the frozen peaks. Every beat of those wings sent gusts of wind that scattered the snow and bent the trees. Its eyes, glowing a deep sapphire blue, fixed upon Aaron not with rage, but with sorrow. The creature's mind reached out, ancient and weary, carrying the memories of centuries long gone. Through visions, Aaron saw the truth. The dragon had once been the guardian of Frostvale, protector of the skies and bringer of balance. But the greed of men had broken their bond. In their thirst for power, they had tried to harness the dragon's fire, and in punishment, the creature sealed itself and the land in eternal frost. The dragon's voice, though silent, echoed in Aaron's thoughts. It did not speak in words, but in feelings, forgiveness, pain, and hope. Aaron realized what the prophecy truly meant. The dragon would return not to fight for Frostvale, but to test if humanity had changed enough to deserve survival. As the dragon took flight, the sky rippled with light, the clouds dissolving into waves of color. The people of Frostvale looked up in awe as the first rays of sunlight in decades pierced through the endless storm. Rivers began to thaw, and life stirred beneath the snow. But peace was fragile. The king, blinded by pride and fear, saw the dragon as a threat to his rule. He declared it a beast of doom and commanded his armies to hunt it down. Soldiers marched toward the mountains with weapons of steel and fire, unaware that they were marching toward their own judgment. High above them, the white dragon hovered, watching neither friend nor foe, but fate itself given form. Aaron knew that the true battle was about to begin, not between man and dragon, but between pride and redemption. The army of Frostvale advanced through the thawing mountains, their armor gleaming under a sky that had not known sunlight in years. Spears and cannons reflected the pale light, and the air was filled with the scent of melting snow and iron. From the highest ridge, Aaron watched, his heart heavy with dread. He knew the dragon's power was unmatched, but this war was not about victory. It was about forgiveness. The white dragon descended from the clouds, vast and silent. Its wings stirred the air into a storm, scattering the army's banners like leaves. Soldiers froze, not in fear of death, but in awe of the creature's divine presence. Its scales glimmered like frost-touched glass, its eyes calm yet endless, as if it carried the weight of every mistake humanity had ever made. The king rode forward, sword raised high, shouting orders that were swallowed by the roaring wind. Cannons fired. The mountain shook. Fire and smoke filled the sky. Yet the dragon did not strike back. Instead, it hovered, absorbing the blasts, its wings glowing brighter with every attack. The people watching from below saw something miraculous. The fire aimed to destroy, it was instead melting the last of the eternal frost. Eren raced into the battlefield, shouting for the soldiers to stop, his voice lost in the chaos. When the king aimed the final strike, a weapon forged from dark magic and human arrogance, Eren threw himself between them. The blast struck him, sending shockwaves through the valley. For a heartbeat, everything was silent. Then the dragon roared, not in anger, but in grief. A column of light erupted from the dragon's chest, sweeping across the land. The snow melted, rivers flowed freely, and the dark clouds that had hovered for generations finally dispersed. The frost that had chained the kingdom was gone. The dragon, now fading into light, lowered its head toward Eren's still form, as if to bless him. When dawn came, Frostvale was reborn. Fields bloomed, lakes shimmered, and the people whispered tales of the white dragon that had not destroyed, but saved them. Eren's name was never forgotten, nor was the dragon's. For in the hearts of the people, they became one symbols of sacrifice, redemption, and the truth that even the coldest hearts could melt when touched by light.